Titan Z here, back for another review. Going to be doing Universe 2.0 Dinobot. I do have the original Dinobot with some pieces missing in the 10th anniversary Dinobot. The reason I want to do this one is because I think he is just a wee bit cooler than the other two. Because he's slightly more show-accurate in some parts. This is his beast mode, a Velociraptor. Very mean looking. Very cool. Really more Velociraptor accurate than his Beast Force counterpart. Like in the head, in the tail, and the the whole scales on his back, and particularly in his claws. Wow, that looks nice. A little bit of robot kibble here and there, but honestly, I think this kibble I can ignore past what the old one had on kibble was his feet were stuck right here. Here it's his hands. I can ignore that real easy. I don't have a problem with that. You got the feet stuck up right here. That's a bit of annoyance. Dinobot is from the Beast Wars series from the 90s, the one I grew up with. He showed up with Megatron and the other Predacons on their ship, which has been fan-dubbed the Dark Side, I think. I think that's what it was called. He finds that Megatron's rule has led them to the wrong planet, and he finds him to be incompetent. So he challenges him to an honorable duel to lead the Predacons. Megatron goes, "An honorable duel? How noble." Scorponok, blast him. Scorponok shoots him and he gets launched. He later shows up to challenge the Maximal leader, Optimus Primal, to leadership of the Maximals. He sort of fails, ends up joining the Maximals anyway, becomes an invaluable member to the team, and fighting the Predacons. He has a lot of cool episodes. He's a very short fuse sometimes, especially around Rat Trap. He absolutely hates Rat Trap for good reason, because he's annoying. Now I like Rat Trap because he's funny, but you put Dinobot Rat Trap together, and it's always comedy gold. It's always comedy gold with those two together on screen. Because of sometimes of Dinobot's short fuse, he does cause a few problems for the Maximals. Namely, he was the cause for the Sentinel program on the Maximal ship that Rhinox was trying to design to go haywire, and ends up Rat Trap has to be the one to disable it. Which is kind of interesting. At the end of the episode, Dinobot ends up saying that he likes Rat Trap despite the fact he may not. He knows that it kind of was his fault that Rat Trap was at the time supposedly killed, which we find out he wasn't, and he was enjoying the fact these guys are all saying these good things about him, even though he's in Dinobot's opinion, a vermin. Anyway, Dinobot, fights. He is a relatively good warrior. His main weapon is a spinning shield, a sword, a drill bit sword, and laser eyes, which is cool. His eyes turn from red to green and start firing out lasers, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, the real Dinobot meets his end at the middle beginning of season 2, Fall of a Hero or something like that. He gets basically turned offline. He gets so damaged he just can't possibly stay online anymore and dies. And when this happens, most people consider him now less of a warrior and more of a samurai who protects the innocent. The Ronin, if you will. When the last words Optimus say to him, or the last words he says as his spark leaves his body and travels upward, Optimus says, he lived a warrior and died a hero. Then his spark joined the Matrix, the greatest of Cybertron. Sadly, Dinobot does not stay dead for long. He comes back as Dinobot in Dinobot Transmetal 2 as a Predacon, mindlessly following Megatron up until the end, where when the destruction of Rampage happens, he regains his honor, he regains his full memory, and becomes the Dinobot that we all know and love. It ends up saving Optimus, defeating Megatron, and ending the Beast Wars. Unfortunately, dies. I'm not sure if he comes back in any comics. This is his robot mode. As you can see, that's the sword. It's kind of shorter than his old version. I like the old version. It was much longer. There's a nice gimmick at the front of his chest, which I hope I can get. You have this like little square patch that's like normal skin, and then one side can flip to be a Predacon symbol. I don't know how that's going to show up on the camera. And another side can reveal a Maximal symbol, which is pretty nice. It's really cool. I like that trick. His tail is a weapon. Its tail is a weapon. It does not spin anymore. That's a downside in my opinion. It's not like the same weapon he used to have that spinned. It was like a spinning shield. Now it kind of more reminds me of a crossbow, because the weapon is, of course, an obligatory missile. But that reminds me more of a crossbow than anything else, or a bow and arrow. There is another gimmick with the toy. You can make him more cartoon accurate, whereas you can flip his hands around to make his famous 3-fingered on one side, 2-fingered on the other side hands. The only problem is that these aren't really locked when it's in this mode. The bottom fingers, the 2-fingered side, isn't really locked in place. They're kind of loose. That sucks, but it looks really cool. It really does. He can still hold the sword in this mode with these hands, but the downside is that they're rubber. They're not hard plastic. They're like PCP, I think. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, folks. I'm trying to make sure this gets into the right slot. Close it up. And voila, he can hold the sword. This is pretty nice. I like the mold. The mold definitely reminds me of Dinobot. The colors don't. Now, the brown I can deal with. But they got this purple in some joints and this yellowish, sandy gold. His head mold's still the same. The head mold is very good, but it's not. His head mold in the original series was the same color as his raptor skin, with a blue face, not a purple face. Though they did get the eyes right. They did get the color of the eyes right, which is cool. Other than that, this is a great figure. If you're a fan of Beast Wars like I am, and if you really thought Dinobot was cool, definitely a figure worth picking up, at least to put on your shelf next to your another Dinobot maybe. Definitely a cool figure. I got no real complaints other than the shoulder pads where his hands stand. Though I think they're a lot better than hanging on the back like they did on the old toy. So this is Titan Z with Dinobot saying I'll see you when I see you.